tricky turn one. You can see it. You know, that angle of it is absolutely perfect. It's essentially a big hair, big gun. It's a second gear.
It's that time of the year, guys. First main race of the season. Here it is, the Qatar Grand Prix. Martin won the sprint race yesterday. Binder and Alicia Spargo. Now today, it's a main race and things can change. And with Alicia Spargo's late race pace in the sprint, you never know what could happen. I want Marcus to finish our podium as well. Obviously, Martin leads the championship, obviously, with a sprint win. Last year, Bagnaia started with a double. Can Martin do it this year?
75th birthday of the championship this year. It was
75th birthday of Motogp.
But 1949, they started racing around the roads on the Isle of Man, and then in Switzerland for the start of the Grand Prix World Championship. Who will run out victorious this season? Will this man be on the comeback trail on the satellite Ducati? We've had 5 different winners over the last 5 races here, Neil. Dovizioso, Vinales, Quartararo, Bastianini and Di Gianantonio. The last 2 came in Grassini Ducati colours.
Yeah, Digi and Bastianini in 2023 and Digi in 2023. Actually, I'll be active at the 2023 race. I mean, 2022 at that time wasn't really into the sport after Rossi left and before late into that year.
The last time we had a race like that round this
simply the best. Didn't get a good qualifying, but he looked good at the warm-up, so you never know. Digi crushed in the sprint race. Let's see what he can do in this race. Ducati have won every race here, except 2 since 2017, after 2017. But before that, 2015, since 2015, it's been Yamaha and Ducati dominating in Qatar. Honda, they were on twice in the last 15 years, I think, in Qatar, with Marquez in 2014 and Stoner in 2011. Obviously, Stoner won 3 in a row. Stefano Domenicali's there. Here we go.
So fresh from there, second race last night. It's our first Grand Prix.
The grid is ready.
Yes, we have this.
We're ready for round 1. Marquez getting ready on Grassini from 6th on the grid. Can he get a podium on his debut for the team? Red flag goes away, green flag at the back. The battle commenced in 2024. Oh,
further back, is it Raul Fernandez?
Raul Fernandez.
In 12th on the grid. He's got a problem with his bike and he's going to have to start from pit lane. What a disaster.
He'll have to get off.
Well, he's been told to get off the grid now, but he says he's got it started. And what's happened here? A real problem.
It's going to be trouble for that. You can't argue with the organisers. If you delay the start, you have to take your motorcycle off the grid. Now this has delayed the whole start,
and so everyone's now got problems. We're going to get a restart. Start there, everyone out there. Here we go. Oh, just
restart.
Building up to all the excitement of hearing 22 MotoGP bikes roaring louder than a jet plane.
And a Sonic Craig on the grid.
Called off very briefly. We'll be back in action very soon indeed. But Danny Aldridge giving Raul Fernandez a real telling off down there. He's going to have to start from pit lane here, Neil.
Yeah, essentially his race is over, but the rules are the rules. It's always been the same. If you delay the start, you have to. Obviously, there was some sort of technical issue. There are that many electronics on these motorcycles right now that it is quite easy. I think throughout the year we will see this.
So the race been delayed because of Raul Fernandez.
It will become a 21-lap race. They'll do another warm-up lap, form up, and have a quick start procedure. That's my betting, Neil, and I don't think we're going to be far off on that one. Just talk to me then. You've been in this position, sat on a MotoGP grid, and then something happens. Someone stalls. Someone has a problem like that. What does that do to your adrenaline?
Well, I mean, that was late as well. That's as late as it will ever happen. You are fully prepared, like you say. You've gone through your procedure. You've done your warm-up lap, trying to have your positive thoughts, focusing on your start and everything, and then it gets delayed. But it's not a bad thing. All these riders now are so experienced. You press reset mentally. This man's super cool. Two-time MotoGP world champion. It's like, okay. And look, and you can tell he's pretty much unflappable. He'll be like
taking it all in, having a look around at other people's bikes and what they're doing, maybe settings that they've.
He doesn't look happy. Raul doesn't.
And just knowing what he's up against here today, Raul Fernandez. Of course, it's a new Trackhouse Aprilia team. They had a few issues when it was the Crypto Data R&F team. The sponsors and the team went separate directions. There's litigation going on. I am not rich enough to afford the lawyers needed to talk about what's gone on there. But the good news, as far as the team, a lot of the team personnel are concerned, and the riders, is that Trackhouse, the American NASCAR team, has come in. Justin Marks come in and taken charge of that team. And now we have an American team in Motogp. It's just a shame that in the race here tonight, Miguel Oliveira's got a long lap penalty, and now Ralph Fernandez is starting from pit lane.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
The reality of MotoGP.
Wait, what's Jorge doing?
Super competitive, and things like this can happen.
Jorge Martin running off there. I think he's going to the toilet. I think on the side of the grid.
Yeah, I think he's going for a comfort break.
One of those things before the start of a race like this, you could see a couple of riders.
Riders, you're fully hydrated. It's a 42-minute race. You know, we're under the lights, but it's still very hot and humid. So you take on a lot of water. You are ready to go.
Yeah, 21 laps.
Literally,
I was expected
to go. And if the start doesn't go,
meant that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't think it.
Yeah.
So it's
Before we
quite
go away to the fans and apologise.
having to find the restroom whenever possible. There you go. I've got American.
It was one thing, actually. I will say, it was one thing we were talking about, actually making sure that there were places for that to happen on the grid. I was at an FIM conference.
Marcus looks ready.
Because one of the things, it just doesn't look great, does it?
It never looks great, but it's a relative
necessity.
It's a relative life, and it won't be long before these riders are setting up on their warm-up laps.
One of the other things was about that situation, medical-wise, they were saying safer, make sure that riders are...
So it's like 21 lap race.
Yeah.
Do you know what I used to do as well in this situation? I used to actually quite like it. I know that might sound a bit perverse and a bit weird. I used to, because I was so nervous for the first start, essentially, I'd got myself so worked up that by the time now, I'd calm myself down in a positive way, and then it was almost always like I was almost better prepared for the... I know they didn't...
If they play the intro again, I might as well mute it in case if any copyright claims come in, because I don't want any of those on this. I mean, if I show the screen matter instant copyright, because I don't want to be so strict, so I'm not really going to bother.
So they'll go and do a warm-up lap. There's Loco Zinenberg, former Grand Prix winner himself.
I was saying about the grid. You've got 13 world champions on that grid.
Yeah.
You've got 16 riders have won a MotoGP race at some point in their career. All the riders on the grid have won a Grand Prix race at some point in their career. Never has it been like this. We've had stacked fields, we've had quality fields. We've never had quality machinery and teams to match it. Like now, essentially, you've got Marc Marquez, who's an 8 times world champion, on the Gresini bike, a year-old Ducati. But obviously, as we know, that is well capable of winning. So it's just a fantastic...
Marquez is capable of winning. There's a Costa behind the Iranian champion.
I'm not just saying this.
The brand new Moto2 and MotoGP champions there, a Costa and Bagnaia. There's Zarco getting ready. I just call him Zarkeo when he crashes. I mean, I'm joking when I say that.
What's going on here now for Ralph Fernandez? Because I think he's just been told he can join up at the back of the grid.
That is... Yeah, that is possible. If that's the case, he's been very lucky.
Maybe he's going to his spare bike.
Probably.
I think this must be running back for his spare bike. I'm pretty sure
he is quite fast, to be fair.
Position 23 by technical director Danny Aldridge. But Ralph Fernandez, well, if there was blood coursing through his veins before, and now he's just got a 200-meter sprint.
Yeah,
you're right, spare bike.
Yeah, spare bike.
It's a spare bike for Ralph Fernandez.
Must have the same setup and everything like they had his main bike on.
And he caused a delay to the start. And I know it's the rules and the following protocol and these sorts of things, but yeah, frustrating, I'm sure, for the other riders too. But Ralph Fernandez will get to join up at the back of the grid now.
Yeah. But it is frustrating for the riders, but the reality
is it
happened to any of you.
Thank God it didn't take so long. If I took another 10 minutes, I would have
and then also the bike
done 16 laps down.
And you have got
I would not be cool. A 16 lap Qatar race.
Was it 2019? When did Fabio Quartararo do?
Keeping an eye on Liverpool, Man City as well on me. Villa lost fun of the Tottenham earlier. I'm not happy about that.
Just one rookie in the class.
That's for any football fans. But here with MotoGP.
It's like he didn't have it sorted. He didn't have it set ready for launch here.
You're right. So he's probably been very lucky, actually. Yeah, you're right. And if you can't look,
let's go on Marquez here.
Yeah, ride height device down.
Is that a ride height device to show?
On the factory Ducati, you want these ride height devices banned, don't you, Neil? Especially when we're talking about a race start here after what happened last year. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Initially, when they first came out, some manufacturers had worked hard behind the scenes to gain an advantage. You can't then ban them straight away. But we're at the point now where pretty much everyone's caught up, so there's no real game for it.
Yeah.
Ralph Fernandez will start from pit lane.
Right.
and start the warm-up lap.
I'm going to start the warm-up lap from pit lane and the race from the back of the grid.
Yeah, back of grid, yeah.
Yes, okay. Just keep up on our screen. Fernando started from pit lane. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Wi-Fi devices either.
The reason I say is
I run play Motogp 23. When I brake, where it should go off, it doesn't go off. It's like that. I'm stuck in the middle of the corner with it on, and there's a high risk I'm going to crash.
Yeah, I think yesterday it was okay, wasn't it? But today, there's no reason why today we
Also, guys, hopefully in the future month, like in this next month coming up, or sometime soon, hopefully I'll be bringing back Motogp Online races open lobby, so then I can race against those guys again. I mean, I'm not a good player Motogp, but yeah, it's fun. Especially when I crash, I do rage a bit. I go, "What are you doing?" Like GTA races. Angry Ginger, of course. Here we go. Here we go again.
Right. Here we go again. Let's try.
Yeah, I'll say it first. I said that first. Here we go again.
Learning to start one of these things is no mean feat. He has won here previously, but way back in 2014. Doesn't like this.
He's getting my rear.
Right. Down on this occasion. It's definitely sitting down.
Right device.
22nd Grand Prix here in Qatar. 5 different winners in the last 5 Grand Prix we've had here.
Yeah, green flag at the back. Here we go again. Can Martin make it 6 out of 6 in Qatar?
What will happen in this 21 lap Grand Prix of Qatar?
Let's go.
Is underway, and again the Aprilia struggles to get away from the line.
Look at the KTM Binder again.
Great start. Around the outside he goes, but it's going to be Brad Binder from the second row into second place. Bagnaia goes third, and Enea Bastianini is in fourth.
Bastianini fourth. Marquez already up to 5th. Look at Jack Miller.
Back again from the start. Jack Miller is past him. Aleix is down in 7th place.
Not a good start for Aleix Spargo. Binder. Bagnaia behind Martin.
This is Pecco Bagnaia of old. This is exactly what we saw last year. He's going to get to the front and try and control this race. And he's going to attack straight away. Exactly what you said, Neil.
Bagnaia in front.
Control this from the front, and he's done just that. Got to the front from the second row of the grid in 5th place. The world champion leads the Grand Prix. Oh, he's sideways down into turn 6.
Bagnaia sideways. Bagnaia leads.
Going further back now. It looks like Fabio Di Antonio has now got through on Aleix Espargaro.
Vinales.
The problem is for Aleix, like you say,
they're taking down 16th. Well, Vinales is still 13th. Mir's 12th.
You just get roughed up a little bit, and then everyone sees that you're.
Marquez 4th. But ahead of Bastianini.
It's going to take him a few corners just to get that back.
But Vinales has also dropped back 3 positions into 13th place. Disaster for the Aprilia runners, and now another one comes to Alex Marquez.
Alex Marquez. Aleix is down in 9th place.
He's down in 9th place. It's not all done yet, but it's going to make life so much tougher. It's going to make temperatures go through the roof.
I think Bagnaia's got better race pace than these guys.
As Pecco Bagnaia shoots away at the front from Jorge Martin and Brad Binder, Aleix Espargaro down to 9th.
I'm so intrigued if someone does a different strategy. If someone goes all out early on, and then
or DG up inside of Miller. And then comes Alex Marquez on Jack Miller. Oh, big contact on the side. It looks like it. Alex Marquez ahead.
3 days, they were side by side, trading paint down towards the final corner. Ducati sits down and Marquez goes through.
Proper shoulder charge from Alex Marquez, wasn't it? Slipstream for Binder. Is he going to get past Jorge Martin? It looks like it. And he's going to go early. He's going to attack. And here comes
Binder's going for it.
The braking on this KTM this year is phenomenal. Says that's one of his big weapons, and he's used it to. Oh,
Miller.
Jack Miller that's gone down. I think it is.
Just saw it. Jack Miller.
Jack Miller has crashed out.
Turn 1.
Goes down, a disastrous start.
Well, Hamilton also crashed. Why that's so big?
As Miguel Oliveira gets the announcement that he can now take his long.
Well, Hamilton also crashed in the F1 race last year.
Last year.
Yeah, he got that up quick, Jack, didn't it?
Yeah, he got it up quick.
You can't have been on the floor for long. What a shame for Jack. It's been a very difficult start to the 2024 season for him. Even the pace over the weekend actually wasn't that bad, was it? Just as he said, they've had to make a few changes.
Once he's been there in a race, he hasn't won a race since 2021.
Rejoin the field.
So it'd be good to see Binder win. He nearly won the HOF race last year.
22nd position. So we go on board with Jorge Martin.
On board with Martin. Marquez behind him.
On the Gresini Ducati.
Yeah. And at this point, Marquez will just think, right, okay, breathe. Let's just stay calm.
Yeah.
Let's not attack. Let's just settle into the race. As long as Pecco doesn't start to eke away, which he is ever so slightly, if that gap starts to grow, then he will come through.
Yeah. Why is it so dark? Hold on.
We see Bastianini. Alex Marquez had passed him in the corner
there
before, and Bastianini said, "Not today, mate."
There we go.
In Alex Marquez colours, and Bastianini won here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Bastianini won in Qatar in 2022.
In the sprint last year, and it just didn't quite work for him in the Grand Prix. But he knows what it takes to win around here. As here comes the race.
Oh, Pedro Acosta. Welcome to MotoGP, my mate.
And up to 7th place for Pedro,
Wow.
who we've heard from his Kiwi crew chief, Paul Jonathan, is good on tyres.
He's good on tyres as Acosta. Here goes Binder.
On the lap as well, Pedro Acosta. Part of me thinks
Bang on, going to break himself.
Of course, he's going to
No,
try
he
and
ain't.
save his tyres. But more importantly, for him, I genuinely
There's
think
Vanilla Crash.
he's going to want to try and lead this race if he can. So keep your eye on Pedro Acosta, who's currently in.
If Acosta wins, I'm going to be so surprised.
He's about 0.3 of a
Winner
second faster
on
than
debut.
Look, he's closing in.
We've had that before.
There he is, is it 31?
31, yeah.
Number 31.
It's been number 37 that he used to run.
Yeah, number 31. There he is.
His teammates got it.
That's right. Fernandez, the Gusto.
That's a Sir Pedro Acosta.
So,
Watch out for him.
Down into turn 6. Oh, here comes Alex Marquez again, and then they about to
They've been going at it for a lap, haven't they?
Yeah, but Marquez looks like he's got through on this occasion. Alex Marquez, another one you've got to keep a close eye on.
Yeah.
He's won a couple of sprint races last year, and still looking for that first Grand Prix win in MotoGP.
Doing a good race so far. The rookie is 7th. Marc Marquez 4th.
Two-time world champion in his own right, Alex Marquez.
Also, if you're 19-year-old Pedro Acosta in your first proper MotoGP race, I know he did the sprint yesterday, but trying to control your adrenaline right now,
Yeah.
because it is pumping, he's in the mix, he's in 7th place in his first proper race, and he knows he's got to try and treat these tyres well, not, let's say, spin the rear too much. But then he'll see the riders in front of him going slower than he knows he can go. It's going to be hard for him not to pass. This is the man I'm talking about, and he's going to pass.
Oh, here goes Acosta.
Into the last corner.
Up to turn 16 now for Pedro Acosta.
Here he goes. The rookie. He's in P6.
The reason why we're saying this kid is special. And
this kid is something else. He's the new Marc Marquez, that's for sure.
What a start. He is just 1.1 seconds behind the leader and world champion, Pecco Bagnaia. He's the real deal. As Bagnaia this time doesn't have to defend from Brad Binder in second.
Do you know what I'm loving about this race is we've got...
Some people have been saying Acosta's a title contender. I don't think that personally, but if he is this season, we're in for something special. We could be for the first rookie champion since Marquez in 2013. If he's going to destroy everyone. I don't think he will, though. I still think my Ducati's faster than my KTM. I mean, Acosta has got the 2024 edition.
On that last one, 153.0 on the previous lap.
There goes Acosta. He goes on Alex Marquez here.
52.0, so 4 seconds slow.
Oh, Pedro looking to 6 then.
He's going for it, idiot.
A heart rate monitor on Pedro Acosta.
There's someone get a heart rate monitor on that rookie.
Because he's such a cool customer, isn't he? That you imagine he might.
He's going to be the best rookie since Quartararo.
I think he's the opposite. I think he's the Banks and Tigger. His heart rate will be 200 and he'll be looking and he'll be thinking, I can see the leaders.
Martin.
Sorry, Neil, but Morgan Martin just taking second from Brad Binder.
Classic.
Could see Bagnaia just sneaking away ever so slightly.
Yeah, Martin decided to get past and go for it. He crashed in my opening race last season after crashing Marquez.
What he also knows, if he gets up to 0.3, Bagnaia will know that. Francesco Bagnaia will look.
I mean, he crashed after the Marquez Oliveira incident.
Just to drop the hammer a little bit more, see if you can squeeze another couple of tenths out of it.
On board with Brad Binder. One thing we've learned from Binder, he's very good at working out the right pace, as in to be in the mix at the end. That's something over last year.
He's got better speed here. Binder's got better corner speed than Martin by a couple of kilometres an hour.
When he got involved, when he got into the mix, he just seemed to judge it quite right. As again, he looks like he's going to attack. This is interesting to see, isn't it?
It is really interesting. Two of the
Martin's got him.
He must have
Acosta.
No,
the front. You can see it protecting.
Pedro Acosta. Alex Marquez.
Oh, no, he's not.
Oh, Alex Marquez has got him there.
Back over the front. And so Alex Marquez hangs on to Brad Binder. Meanwhile, Marquez
sitting there.
Marquez just sitting there in 4th.
With
his brother behind him and Acosta in 6th.
And you're not a veteran in this class, but Alex Marquez has had quite a few years now.
Go on, Pedro.
His 4th season. When a 19-year-old fellow countryman comes past you, do you know what you do? You let your brake off. You're like, I'm not having this. There's no way I'm letting him past.
Yeah. No way. Alex Marquez is letting Pedro Acosta through. When was the last time we had a winner on debut in the Premier class?
The very first person that he passed in his first experience at racing believe it or not, was Marc Marquez. What a thing to put on your CV.
Pace at the front, just up ever so slightly. Fastest rider on circuit.
Here we go.
On that last lap, that was tight. Here comes Pedro again. He's up to 5th place. Well, we thought he'd be
All the hype he's living up to, Pedro Acosta.
At some point early on in this season. Top 5s, yeah, go on then, that's a push, but he may well here be battling for the podium. This is remarkable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hang on. I'm seeing that.
Hang on.
My eyesight's gone completely wrong. I'm seeing 17 laps to go. There's one thing we have learned at this track. If you do burn your tyre at this point, I promise it will fall off a cliff edge with about 6 to 7 laps to go. So,
and he's got things to learn, hasn't he, about riding in turbulence. Yesterday he said, well,
yeah,
he couldn't work out what was going on early on with the turbulence being kicked off by these bikes. Similarly, just how to manage the tyre.
Binder trying to get past Martini.
Got no cool air coming on the tyres. Look at Brad Binder pulling out the gain on the inside of Jorge Martini. When you've not got the cool air in your tyre, the pressure starts to go.
Well, Mark has been right there. There goes Acosta. He's trying to get past the 8-time champion.
That tell them when the pressure is going up. They also have a counter to let them know they've done the required 60% as it is now. 60% of the race has to be done over the minimum tyre pressure of 1.8 bar.
So this is getting stretched out earlier than I expected. I thought it would keep quite tight, but Bagnaia is doing quite decent lap times there. And that's what's stretching.
Well, Costa's a bit wide there. Is he trying to get past Marquez? He's going to go seeing his sandwich.
Then you think of Marc Marquez in this position. I know it's his first race at Ducati. Is he just dosing it out at this stage?
I think so.
Give himself a bit of breathing room.
100%. I think so.
Yeah. I think Marquez in Portimao will really start to go for it.
If he could. I think he can. I think he's working to his strategy. You know his crew chief, Frankie Carcetti. Remember what happened in the race last year? He planned the race for Fabio Di Gianantonio.
Yeah.
And literally, Fabio listened exactly to his crew chief, did it to the letter, and won the race.
What a remarkable performance it was from Di Gianantonio. He's riding in 8th place. He's got Aleix Espargaro. Aleix, I'm just looking at his lap times. He's just been clicking a 10th off. Here or there, every single lap, just getting a little bit quicker. He's feeling his way in. He's at the back of the group in 9th place. 2.5 seconds down is not too much.
No.
So Bagnaia's half a second clear here.
Past 8 of the best riders in the world to get to the front.
And one of the small downside.
Bezecchi's been overtaken by Augusto Fernandez, not well Fernandez.
It doesn't lose a lot.
You don't want to see that at Mark's pit board. Acosta's behind him.
Out of the corner, that little bit of drive grip.
I bet you Mark was like, this one's Acosta behind me.
What he's saying though, he's saying that new aero package is unreal. He said on the faster corners on turn 12, 13, 14 and 15, he said, and I love this line, it felt like an F1 car. Because it's stuck to the ground, the aero is pushing that bike down, which is creating grip, which is helping the motorcycle turn.
I've heard it from other riders, they've said in the middle of the fast corners, that are brilliant. They've got a grounded bearing, and it works a bit like the floor of a Formula One car. It's wing shaped, so when the air comes in, it creates a narrow channel that opens up towards the back, and it sticks the bike to the ground on its side, which just helps the bike corner. It gives you grip when the tyre wall shouldn't be giving you that grip, tyre edge.
I was speaking to earlier, as Pedro.
Let's go on fix iPods. They're like a big influence for Aprilia. I'm not sure Mike Vignales come from the Aprilia in 2022 and helped him get his 3 podiums that year.
As I say that, he's going to do a massive lunge.
I just saw a completely different line through there. He's straight line.
Quartararo is 10th on the Yamaha.
I'm slightly older than Pedro Acosta, but if I was him now, that's what I'd be doing. I'd sit here. I think it's a comfortable place.
Acosta's the youngest rider on the grid. And yet, he's going nearly the same place as Bagnaia at front, and he's 5th place in his first MotoGP race on a satellite KTM, the Gas.
Big on the bike. If you saw him in the paddock, how tall would you say Pedro is? About 5'9"?
Yeah,
5'9", weighs about, I'd probably say about 10.5 stone.
Yeah.
10.5 stone Acosta weighs, from what they're saying.
He marked by moving a little bit there. They've only done to click off 7 laps. This is a big lap for Bagnaia. That's his fastest lap of the race, and
Bagnaia's trying to check out here.
Step by step.
As Brad Binder comes through, he saw the gap just open up ever so slightly there. Wanted to get through, get some clear air, and Jorge Martin's going to fire back at him. And Brad Binder is going to be brave into turn 2. Of course he is. That's what he's become known
Oh,
for.
Binder.
And he tops it out.
Wow.
Comes up into second place.
Aggressive
He
from
gets
Brad
another
Binder.
clear air, but was worried about Bagnaia. Do you know what? The thing that interested me there is when Bagnaia's gone a couple of tenths quicker, everyone behind has matched him.
Yeah.
The whole group, all four.
I'll still predict this year it'll be Marquez versus Bagnaia versus Martin for the title.
They all reacted.
At this point, Marquez is
They all
fourth in
can
the
do.
standings.
They all can go. Well, we know they can. Jorge Martin did a 50.7 in qualifying. You know, he was.
No, he went back a
2 seconds
Binder.
quicker in
If first took
qualifying.
Collide, Marquez would have been up to second, and Acosta third on debut.
Destroy your tyre.
Tyler. The beauty, if you're Francesco Bagnaia, is you've got no one in front of you. You've got no heat on that front tyre. So
It's just so
I don't know what the
tense.
situation with tyre pressure.
With Marquez back at the front, and Acosta fifth. Bagnaia still leads. Binder second, Martin third.
And it will be a 16-second penalty if you transgress.
Absolutely. The fact that he's still leading this race leads me to believe that it must be not a problem. It must not be a problem. Exactly. All by now, he would have dropped back to get behind a rider to get the tyre pressure up.
As I said, he'll have something on his dash that will tell him how many laps he's done over the tyre pressure. How many laps that he's done in the window. And when he's done those, then it'll be all bets off.
I'm starting to worry about Alicia Spargaro. Yeah. He's now 3.8 seconds.
Vignales overtook Costa
was nearly a second, probably about
Costa behind Marquez.
A second slower than these leader guys.
I seem to remember this happening in the race here last year, didn't it? The challenge never materialised. Look, Alicia's just done his personal best lap, so he's responding.
Marquez quickest in the speed trap. Not now. Alicia's took over.
Yeah, sprint race distance.
Oh, Acosta. He's trying so hard to get past Marquez. Bezecchi out quickest in speed trap.
But it's worrying because the gap now is 3.7 seconds.
You see the speeds then. Betts had gone through, look there, speed trap at 221 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say what that feels like? Awful. It's honestly, once you get over 200 miles an hour, everything changes. Up to that sort of speed, believe it or not, you do get used to it. Obviously the screen, the fairing on the bike protects you from the wind. It's not too bad.
Start again.
Once you get over 200 miles an hour,
it's the latest race start.
Very quickly.
That's Martin actually.
Bagnaia here, ride around the outside. That was an absolutely perfect start. There's Aleix getting beaten up in between Bastianini
That's Bagnaia, never mind.
Jack Miller made a great launch, but look at the punch off the line there. It's almost like a jump start, isn't it?
Yeah. And Bagnaia, what I liked about his start was good, but his first corner was even better. That was Pedro there, that got close. The problem is, right, with all the start devices, another reason why I hate them, look how low they are, the bikes don't turn. So, guess what? A drag bike's not very agile.
No, anyone who's been to see track racing, well, no, as soon as they get any kind of wobble on, then you're in trouble.
Because guess what? They designed a drag bike to go straight. There are no corners at a drag race, are there?
Yeah.
Oh, we go.
What we missed here?
Bagnaia suddenly got a lead.
Was that a mistake from Binder?
Must have been a Brad Binder mistake. Now, here comes Martin.
This is going to force someone to,
No, do you know what it was?
It was the speed of Pecco Bagnaia.
Oh.
152.6 from Bagnaia, and Brad Binder having made the move on
Or Marquez.
Marquez going to be hung out to dry.
Or Costa.
All dragging each other in there. That was all the concertina effect from Binder being brave, and then Marquez had nowhere to go.
It's all right. And how many
Marquez had nowhere to go.
At that corner?
Bagnaia.
This is when we
Wow.
talked about before we start the race. You need to lead these races. You've got to control it from the front, because what happens is you determine the speed of what the race is going to be, but also you can determine the panic.
If Bagnaia wants to do something that's fine to be entertainment, you can drag back and say, okay, let's have a fight.
You see all the riders then start jostling for positions, and before you know it, Bagnaia's got a second from nowhere.
And nowhere, Bagnaia's a second clear.
Now we're going to see what everybody's got.
Yeah, this is where, how do they react? Not even a half race distance yet, Neil. This race is not run. It's not done. But Jorge Martin has had a year working out how to get the better of Pecco Bagnaia.
Yeah, he has.
The Italian got the better of him. What has he learned after last year? What can he do in this situation?
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? At this point now, you say we're still not at half race.
At this point, Martin would still lead the championship going to Portugal. So Bagnaia be a point behind him.
Marquez again, just
Marquez trying to find something on Binder. If Martin can get away from Easter and Martin gets a slipstream, he might have him.
Made me smile yesterday when he said, "Yeah, there were a couple of occasions when I ran wide. I was trying to do things that I normally do on the Honda."
Unsurprisingly, he said it felt a bit easier on the Ducati in the battle.
But how?
Yeah.
Doesn't even look like him on the motorcycle.
Exactly.
He looks quite static. The bike doesn't look like it's moving around a lot. It looks quite calm.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he said.
Well, it's been done.
That's how you have to ride that motorcycle. These two are going to slow each other down so much.
In the battle to close
Look at that. Look at that.
Binder,
They've lost so much time there.
Binder,
Yeah, they'd stop.
I'm just thinking there about when they
Constantine each other and go after Pecco if they want to get the win.
There, hasn't he, on Jorge Martin? Right, it bodes well, doesn't it, about it not just being Ducati dominance left, right, and centre with KTM in the mix here and Pedro Acosta there in 5th place.
There's 2 KTMs and 3 Ducatis in the top 5.
Seconds down, and he's just at his fastest lap of the race. Is this the point where he goes, right, that's it, from this point on now, pretty much half race distance, now I'm going to go.
I'm just going to go further down the order then. So we've got our front group to Acosta, then Alex Marquez is in there. You've got an Air Bastianini 7.
So Binder's now going to try and check out for a mad battle and go after Bagnaia.
That's all the riders he's got to pass if he wants to win. Then you've got Maverick Vinales riding alone in 10th. He'll get quicker as the race goes on, I guarantee it. Then you've got Quartararo 11th, top Japanese bike. Joan Mir in 12th, Zarco 13th, Rins 14th, so you've got Yamaha and 2 Hondas there.
Yeah.
And I've got Stoke Fernandez bring up the points.
There's 16th.
Marco Bezzecchi in 16th. Weird weekend for him. Hasn't got on the tour yet with the 23 bike. Raul Fernandez, Miguel Oliveira after his long lap penalty. Frankie Morbidelli.
How many races did the GP23 win last season? 4 races because Bez won 3 and Digi won 1. In GP22, I should say.
54.6.
GP23 won every other race, and the only 2 other wins were Aprilia and
We're talking about the man who was on pole
Honda.
position for this race.
And Rins won in America and Espargaro in Catalonia and Silverstone.
The factory HRC team, it was a strange one.
It's a long road, isn't it?
It is a long road, and we're right at the beginning of that. Well, he's got a 2-year contract, so he's right at the beginning of that long journey.
Oh, Acosta!
Honda will improve. Pedro.
Wow! Pedro Acosta has overtaken Marc Marquez.
On the 8-time world champion. What a debut weekend this is turning out to be for Pedro Acosta here under the lights in Qatar. We were amazed by him 3 years ago when he won from pit lane in Moto3, but this is equally thrilling from Acosta.
Yeah, just to explain, so Pedro Acosta, this is his first Grand Prix MotoGP weekend.
Yeah.
He's a 2-time world champion. He won in his very first year, so he came into this paddock racing in the Moto3 Championship at 16 years old, going to all new tracks, places like here he'd never been to before, and he won the World Championship in his first year. He then moved straight away. That's the move. Good move, clean. Won't mind that. Moved straight to Moto2. In the very first test on a Moto2 bike was fastest. Everybody thought he was going to win the championship in his first year, but he made quite a few mistakes. Ended up having a bad crash and broke his femur. He still finished 5th in the world that year. That was in 2022.
Yeah.
Anyway, last year in Moto2, he absolutely dominated that championship. Pedro's bike is starting to move around a lot there, off throttle actually, into the faster corners. That's Pedro burnt his tyres a bit, possibly.
Maybe, yeah.
Lap times though, still competitive, 53.1. He's had to work hard in this race. Whatever happens from this point, he's shown.
Yeah, it's still a great debut nonetheless.
Bright future ahead for Pedro Acosta.
What a talent.
What a rider that young Spaniard is.
Race yesterday, all the riders were complaining about tyres. I know that's a standard thing, and we hear riders complain a lot about having issues with tyres, but it made me smile a little bit because a lot of the riders said, "Oh, do you know what? In testing, when we did race runs, we didn't have any problems at all."
That's wide for Marc Marquez.
Yeah,
wide for Marc.
Lost a bit of ground there. And I thought, yeah, but actually in testing, when you're riding round, 90% of the riders are doing their little race runs on their own. They haven't got anyone in front of him, so
good brother behind him.
Tyre
Couldn't speak on that.
Issues. Right, is Aleix coming forward? No, he's not.
No, it's 4.7 the gap.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah,
you can see.
I don't think
I'm captain Gian Antonio.
Yeah.
And he's a second back himself.
What a surprise.
Bastianini.
Strange that, really strange. If you saw his race pace yesterday, the last 3 laps, he was so much faster than everybody.
But then, was it a case of he was able to use that little bit extra time? And it's the same tyres, of course, but his pace is slower than he was in the sprint.
Yeah.
And we have seen that, haven't we, on occasion over the last year. You then wonder, is there something to do with the fuel? No,
Jumps back to under a second. Looks like Binder's getting something now.
Once again, the factory Ducati team and Pecco Bagnaia have shown.
There's Top Gun. And then there's Mio Honda and Quartararo Yamaha battling away.
It's a Japanese battle here between the Yamaha of Quartararo and the Honda of Mir. This is good to see from Mir, isn't it? Because you didn't even get this last year.
No, not at all.
No,
Mir was often in the battling for last.
Or in the medical centre.
Yeah, he crashed a lot, didn't he?
There's Alex Rins. He had a few issues yesterday. Jorge Martin's dropping back from Brad Binder here now, as Binder has actually gone 2 tenths quicker than Bagnaia on that last lap. So as Binder got late race pace, he's within a second again.
Yeah.
The one thing that Bagnaia having opened up.
Oh, Acosta.
Having opened up.
Wow.
Lead, it's that sort of.
He's so aggressive.
Manage often.
Trying to pass Martin.
Pedro's going to have Jorge Martin. Jorge Martin said he was on the absolute limit yesterday. Chatter, really bad chatter on the rear that he just couldn't control, especially on the fast corners.
Yeah, it was weird the way he talked about it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, well, I knew I was going to get it. Everyone's got it. Pecco Bagnaia said for the first time that he'd had it. So they knew this might happen later on in the race.
Oh.
Pedro, did you see that?
Wow.
Sideways.
Sideways.
On corner entry, the rear, because that's what happens when your grip comes down. It affects your corner entry a lot, the engine braking. But he stepped out, but he was able to control it. That was so skillful. Normally, what happens when the rear comes out that far on entry?
How good is this rookie?
It's moving a lot. Pedro's in trouble. There's 8 laps to go.
Yeah, he's skating a little bit here, isn't he?
You know, nothing happens in that situation. The only way to save it is by standing the motorcycle up and going wide, but he didn't do that. But I could see that now on motorcycle. I need to get past you.
Yeah, and he'll know. He'll just have to work.
There you go. Completely wide there.
Yeah,
there you go.
It was coming, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mark is back through, and Pedro Acosta has. Yeah, and we did say that
He's destroyed his tyres, Acosta.
He's shown what he's capable of, but he's got a learning curve still to undertake.
Of course. And we saw him attacking a little bit early on. You can't do that. Watch it into here.
Yeah.
He knows Mark's here, so he goes in at normal race speed. The rear's going to come round, but it's just going to push him straight on. Look, missed the corner by miles, off the track.
Yeah, just rushed it as well, didn't they? Trying to stay in front there, and Acosta drops back at the front. Bagnaia to Binder. Oh, he's pulled another 10 back on him, so he's responded.
That was impressive from Bagnaia.
Yeah.
So good at that, isn't he?
He really is. He looks tidy as well.
Berkshire Biker's tidy.
What about Brad Binder? Come on, Brad. What have you got for us here? Can you make a
I always think it's about a bike for Bagnaia. I'm not a huge fan of him.
Champion going to cruise to the line, having got to the front at the first corner.
Everything we saw in pre-season testing from this man was absolutely outstanding. He's jumped on that 2024 Ducati. There's Francesco Bagnaia, your 2 times Motogp world champion, and he's just gone up another gear. Had a strange weekend, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, it hasn't
I
been.
thought a bike's going to another gear, but
Technical problem in the first practice. Wouldn't really say what it was. You know, it was a bit of a strange one. They came back in. In fact, one of our camera operators was down there and said you could smell burning. It was just weird. And there was a weird atmosphere in the garage. They wouldn't say it wasn't a duck tyre, though. He wouldn't say that, although they've all been given communications advice from Michelin not to talk about tyres this year after a few comments last year riled the French manufacturer.
Bagnaia's got the same style as Martin, but shoulder down.
Said, yeah, let's just forget Friday altogether. Obviously, they had rain later on in the day on Friday night, but still, just not looked.
Yeah, Costa's struggling here.
Weekend that he had, but I tell you what, he's done what they did all last year. He only had 4 sprint wins last year, but then had 7 Grand Prix victories and 15 podiums on a Sunday.
Yeah, remind me again where the big points are paid out. It's today, isn't it? It's irrelevant what you've done in practice 1, 2, 3, or 12. So as long as on Sunday in the main race you're at the front.
There are 777 points on offer this year.
Is that Pedro? Is it?
I think it is.
Wide again. He's going to get passed on the straight here. He has done.
Yeah, Alex Marquez ahead of Acosta. He was Bastianini.
He'll just be starting to feel it now. Oh,
Whoa.
puff of smoke there.
Was it his foot on the ground?
Yeah, I think he was, something like that.
Yeah, he's really starting to struggle as a Costa. Marquez is going after Martin.
Spots, but he's shown that he's going to be right in the mix this year.
Of course. I just hope he holds it together. There's still 6 laps to go. Just keep it together. You've got to. This is why MotoGP is so hard. There's so much going on. We say what happens when your tyre starts to drop off. Everything starts to happen a little bit too fast. It's almost like the corners are coming up a little bit quick, and we call it. You get behind the motorcycle. When a rider's really confident, you say the opposite. You go, look at him, he's ahead of the bike. It's almost like he can predict what that motorcycle is going to do. When you're in this situation and you've dropped
Marquez.
the tyres aren't working, you're
protesting.
It's a horrible
Against that
feeling.
Grassini.
Quicker than Jorge Martin at the moment.
Marquez could get a podium here.
The last couple of laps.
Watch out for Mark.
So I wonder if he's sniffing a first podium. He was saying, as he spoke to Susie earlier on today, chatter, not a problem for me. Remember, he's on the 23 bike compared to the 24 bike of Jorge Martin and Enea Bastianini, who'd be quite vocal about the chatter. But it felt like it was more a combination of Ducati and the tyre or something, where that chatter was coming from.
Yeah.
It looks very different still, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't it, Mark?
He's having to adapt his style.
It's so different on that Grassini compared to the Honda.
Amazing seasons with Honda. Well, I say 11 amazing seasons. Not so great since they're at 2020, really. Last win coming 2021 in Misano. Bagnaia across the line. What's the gap? Back out to a second. He's just able to maintain that pace. A 153.0. My only worry now for Bagnaia about victory in this race is tyre pressures, but he must have it under control now. He must do.
Bagnaia?
Yeah.
Do you know what it looks like? It's the way he moves his body. He doesn't move his body quickly. In these conditions, he doesn't overstress the tyre. He's just ridiculously smooth. And because he's such a late breaker, you can't pass Francesco Bagnaia. He makes a bit of time up on the brakes because he's late on the brakes.
Unless you sit him up.
No one in front of him, so he doesn't have any front tyre issues. So that enables him to brake a little bit later. And then he can be smooth on that tyre. And that's what he's done. And he's metronomic. He can literally just do the same lap time, lap after lap after lap. And it sits there at 1 second. And he's just controlling it. 4.5 laps to go. If at this point now, if anyone has anything, and I'm talking Jorge Martin, Marc Marquez, Alex Marquez, you're throwing everything at it now.
Yeah. You just got to throw everything at it if you're going for victory, if you're one of those three.
Left, you just go for it, don't you, at this stage of the race? Just 4.5 remaining. Pecco Bagnaia leading by a second from Brad Binder. They can see the smoke.
Pecco smoking his...
pouring off the tyre now for Pedro Costa. But if we've learned one thing about Acosta, he doesn't care. He's not bad though if the tyres are off. He's trained his whole life for that situation. But this is MotoGP.
Absolutely. Where if you want to win a race in MotoGP, you have to be perfect. You have to have the perfect setup. You have to... Your race strategy has to be perfect. And we talk a lot now about MotoGP, about the starts. That's so important. With these ride-out devices, can you believe this? 0 to 60 miles an hour is under 2 seconds. That's faster than a Formula 1 car.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
That's how fast these motorcycles accelerate.
The power-to-weight ratio is just ridiculous.
Mind-blowing.
And then chucking a ride-out device, an aero, stopping the thing wheeling. Anytime you have that kind of power in a bike previously, your front wheel would want to go over the top of your shoulders. But now the wings and the downforce keep these things planted to the ground.
Yeah, we do.
It's moved on so much in the last, say, 3 years, really. Right out
Turn one, let's have a look here. Binder and Martin.
This was the move for Brad Binder that took second place. Ralph Fernandez had to come into the pits.
It's going to be the same podium as Thailand 2023.
For Trackhouse Aprilia.
But it's different order.
That's Jorge Martin's knee inside the front wheel of Brad Binder on the KTM. How close do you like it?
Ralph Fernandez is in.
Tough weekend for Ralph Fernandez.
Shown glimpses,
absolutely. Showed glimpses in the test here as well.
Yeah, he's called it quits.
We'll find out later on what's going on.
Oh, is it? I think it's Spike having this shit.
Pecco Bagnaia can also allow a little bit of smoke to pour off the back of it.
There's 11th from Honda. He's over to Quartararo.
Has Brad Binder got anything? It's coming down by 10.
Zarco's 13th.
It's just with 3.5 to go. You feel like Bagnaia is controlling it. Meanwhile, Pedro Costa
He's hanging on.
Yeah, he's on.
Yeah, he's trying to keep hold of 7th place.
The gap is coming down. It was 1.1 over the line.
0.8 between Binder and Bagnaia.
Yeah,
I was talking about here.
Sorry, yeah.
Into the final corner. Alexia Spargrove's charge never materialised. 6.4 behind the leader.
Martin race tip.
Cheers for that.
Having a fantastic battle for 9th. There is Aleix. I've got to say that.
Aleix is 9th.
This morning coming to the track, it was the unanimous decision from the call, wasn't it? Us 4 experts. I'm going to blame Michael Laverty because I think he said Aleix Spargrove first, and I listened to him.
Well, we just believe everything Michael says because he usually speaks the gospel truth.
Someone actually thought Nakagami got a chance of a win, but I don't know. I thought that was a bit of a long shot.
Yeah.
He's down in 19th.
It would be a long shot saying Nakagami's going to win.
20th, Luca Marini 21st.
I think nothing's going to happen from here to the checker flag.
Marquez still 0.3 behind Jorge Martin, and you know, you think if we know Mark Marquez, he's going to have a go, but can he get close enough here?
Well, you know, Mark, he'll be happy with the 4th one to Gav.
Yeah, of course he will. In some guises, he was happy with the top 5 last night because he knows it's the first step on the road that he's got to overcome this year.
Martin's using his body.
Marquez likes to have a go. One thing is true, since he's been injured, since he hasn't been able to compete, the level at the top has got stronger. You're right to be Jorge Martins, your Pecco Bagnaias, have the belief that he had for all those years. John Antonio finally gets through on Pedro Costa. And Jorge Martin and Binder and Bagnaia have the belief that the others perhaps didn't have when they were battling Mark Marquez in the past.
Yeah, he's so right. It moves on. There's a reason why there's only one rider older than Mark Marquez that has won the Premier Class World Championship, and that was Mick Doohan. Rossi won his last one at age 30 years old.
Yeah.
Mark's 31 years old. 31 years old now.
Mick's career was a really strange one because of the injuries he suffered early on.
Exactly, that delayed in his, let's say, his prime years, but then obviously his dogged determination and talent, Mick Doohan I'm talking about, that's why he won the World Championship in his early 30s.
Yeah. 2 to go.
1 second the gap again with 2 laps remaining.
Or Bastianini and Alex Marquez.
Through on Alex Marquez.
So it won't be a Gustini 3-peat.
See the extreme style.
Oh, here we go.
Bastianini through turn 2 now.
Bastianini's got him.
He goes.
Tidy, very tidy.
Tidy from the Bestia.
That's good for us, isn't it? That Bastianini looks like rediscovering the kind of form that saw him take the battle to Bagnaia a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah.
Horrible injury at the start of last year, dogged him throughout. He did win late on in Sepang, but he started well here. Looks like
Costa's down a 9th.
Could well be a couple of 5th places to take home, or 5th and a 6th, should I say, from yesterday. Aleix Spargrove past Pedro Costa here now.
Yeah, I got a message of Alex Lowe's and I've been looking at it. He thinks Pedro Costa might be having an issue with arm pump, and it's funny. He seems to be moving his hands on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Different than I've seen him do before. And
arm pump could be an issue.
Race distance in a MotoGP race before. You hold your breath a little bit. You can't get arm pump, or your forearm pumps up and goes really tight. So I think that could be a really good spot.
Alex Lowe's, of course, the current World Superbike Championship leader after a brilliant opening round in Phillip Island. They'll be out in Catalonia before too long.
He didn't do bad there, did he?
Yeah.
The move that he put on the Alvaro Bautista, reigning world champion, around the outside at Luki.
Yeah.
I've not seen many better as we go on board.
That was memorable.
Yeah, as we go on board with Pecco Bagnaia through the final corner here in Qatar.
That's that.
1 lap remaining in the opening Grand Prix of 2024. The gap across the line to Brad Binder, 1.5 seconds. It's done now. Jorge Martin has just put in a personal best lap of the race at 1:52.7. So he had something in reserve, but unfortunately, it's only going to be 2nd place if he can find a little bit of something on this last lap to get through on Brad Binder.
Of all the people to try and pass as well, Brad is very, very difficult. But it looks like he's more rear grip. It looks like Jorge Martin. Oh, I say that as he goes to turn 3 on the lock, you could see the rear tyre spinning there. But on corner entry, it looks like he's got a little bit more than Jorge Martin. You know what Jorge Martin's like? He's an aggressive rider, but
Yeah.
Binder is probably the most aggressive MotoGP rider. Hard to pass, always wide there is Binder.
Yeah,
I think before I say Marquez when he's on the Honda, but I think now they'll go with Binder. Because Marquez looks less aggressive on with Cassini.
Just tracking Binder is their way through on this final lap. Pecco Bagnaia is going to win this one and take his first victory in the opening round. His first victory in MotoGP in Qatar as well for Bagnaia. And he's going to, if things stay the same behind, take the championship lead by my calculations. With Binder in second and Jorge Martin in third. You see smoke pouring off all their tyres through there, turn 11.
So it's going to be Bastianini 5th, Alex Marquez 6th, Digi 7th.
Now
in reserve here. And it's going to be a stroll to the line now for Pecco Bagnaia. Well, we talked about it so much last year, but Ducati Lenovo have crunched the numbers once more, Neil, and come up with the goods on a Sunday.
Yeah, combination between rider and team, because that's a class ride from your world champion, and it all started at the start. 10 out of 10 from me.
Pecco Bagnaia then out of
Pecco
the
wins.
corner. The world champion wins.
Binder 7th, second Martin 3rd.
24 and sets off on his quest to make it 3 in a row.
Won't do it.
Martin's
going to do it. Or Marquez.
In his first Grand Prix on the Ducati. And
Is that Angry Ginge? Let's go on notification. No, it's stupid AFC. They did 1-1 between Liverpool and Man City.
Disappointing in 8th place. We hope that he was going to have.
So Marquez 4th, Bastianini 5th, Alex Marquez 6th, Digi 7th, Alex Espargaro 8th, Acosta 9th, Vinales 10th, Quartararo 11th, Zarco 12th, Mir 13th, Bez 14th, Oliveira 15th, Rins 16th, Augusto 17th, Morbidelli 18th, 19th Nakagami, 20th Mourinho, and 21st Miller.
Alex Rins, Fernandez, Morbidelli, Nakagami, Marini just got past Miller at the end there, and Ralph Fernandez retired. But it's Pecco Bagnaia, our world champion.
So anyway, guys, that'll be it for this action. Bagnaia wins the first race of 2024. Still, won't win the world title. It's going to be Martin Marquez for me. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe if anyone is new here, tell me if you signed in, and tell the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos coming up. And I'll see you all next time. So goodbye and have a good day, everyone.
Perfect setting for him. He controlled the race straight from the first corner.